what's happening, what is the phenomena, that can explain to me why people feel much more in touch with their environment, with the world, watching The Sopranos, The Simpsons, whatever. Heroes. My kids watch Heroes.
It's a good show.
More than, seeing the 9 or 10 o'clock or whatever news, seeing what's happening with work. This is something to think about, Go ahead.
I think a lot of it has to do with how jobs have changed over the last few years. People are working longer and they spend less time doing leisurely things. So when they do have that hour at night to relax and watch TV, whether it's 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock, they don't want to necessarily watch the news where they may have to think about something intellectual, and they kind of just look to these television shows that are, in a way, take less brain power to understand what's going on, and they're comedies, so they're lighthearted, yet at the same time they're portraying, I don't know what the right word is. They're not portraying reality, but it's almost like someone else's life, and they're watching it, and it's just a way to disconnect from all the mental brain things that they've been doing all day. So I think it has a lot to do with just the world that we live in and how people's occupations and that kind of stuff.
If you would ask my 80 years old father, he would answer that, coming from work to relax in front of the TV means watching the news.
I think it's a generational thing, and it's not that people didn't work hard 20, 30 years ago. They did, and it's just a different society now, and I think, like you said, it's more an individual society and what the individual wants, and so these television shows are catering to what people now want, and that's why the news is dying, because people don't really want that anymore.
When you were talking, immediately the idea of the word disconnect came to my mind, and then I was thinking, a few years ago, or a generation ago, we had time organized, right? Work, leisure, weekend, church, no doubt, right? Now it's more disorganized. Pleasures was mentioned. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to juggle pleasures, and your time is so condensed. Well, you've lived 3 lives by the time you get home, and you want to, yeah.
I think to build off of that, at the same time, I get most of my news from either my phone or the internet. So by the time I come home, there's no point in me watching the news at the same time. So why should I watch it again when I already know what's happened? I'd rather watch something that takes no brain power.
In your 5-minute break, while you're studying or working or whatever, you check the news, you see what's going on. Maybe in the night you just make the comment, what's going on. But yeah, that's no purpose in getting home and watching something that you already know and everybody knows and everybody's commenting.
Right. And it's this idea that you can just be a consumer. You can just have what you want to. As you said, like there's weird, when you started class, this thing came up on AP News Mobile on here that said, John Edwards and his wife separated. So it's like, now I'm not going to watch the news later and want to hear that same story because I already read the article, But it's interesting because even thinking about when I was in high school,